Good morning, everybody, and happy day before uh, pre-order day, penultimate day before pre-order day. Excuse me, as I adjust my video here, as I lean towards my mic. Perfect. All right. So I hope you're all doing well. Got the morning coffee. We got some stuff to talk about today. As usual, I'm keeping that trend of video for every article coming along hot and fast. So Man Reads article is here at least for today. Probably not tomorrow because it's pre-order day. And we know what's already in there. We covered that. So anyway, let's take a look, shall we, at some news before we get to the pre-orders here. So, boom. That's right. Get a taste of the world of legend by watching the Warhammer The Old World episode on Battle Report from Warhammer Plus for free. Now, all the screen grabs were out there on Reddit and stuff like that for the rules. They came up hot and fast. I watch this battle report. I do like how they handle the battle reports. They're quick, they're fun. Well, I say quick. They cut out the boring parts for the most part. But it's a 45-minute episode. I watched it. It's great. Now, what this means is I don't have to do an episode about what I saw in there with pictures and all that sort of stuff. So go over to Warhammer Official's Twitter, probably their Facebook, and check this out entirely for free. Get some popcorn, 45 minutes. It's well worth it. It gives a good feel for the flow of the game. And I feel very comfortable with the game already, even though I haven't technically seen all the rules, because it feels like a flow from 8th edition that I recognize with subtle changes here and there. So that is some fun, big news to start the day. So go check that out. All right, now over to the article, the Old World Almanac of the day. This coffee's good. What exactly is an arcane journal? So those are those two books coming out for the armies. We'll get one for all the core faction armies over time, and they're pretty neat. So it's not a huge article, but it's enough tastiness here to warrant booting up the recording studio here. As you can tell, I've woken up not long ago. All right, Warhammer the Old World available to pre-order on Saturday. Nestled amid mountains of new and returning miniatures are two intriguing softbook books, the Arcane Journals. Lovely covers here. I'll be picking up both of these. Sigmar provide. Okay, Arcane Journals are softback supplements that are designed to work alongside the Army List, Forces, Fantasy, and Ravening Hordes. Supplementary background imagery and additional rules that complement these details through extra equipment, special characters, and army lists. So this is interesting. Does this mean that we won't see everything that can be used in an army in the Forces of Fantasy and Ravening Hordes? I mean, I'm fine with that, especially because the way these seem to be structured more about that, these alternate style of builds. Just interesting that the way it's worded there. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but I digress. Let's move on. Arcane Journals are not required to play for your chosen faction in Warhammer the Old World. The two main army lists contain a complete set of rules for each army, including unique spells and supplement for the 8 lores in the core rulebook, for instance, Lore of Nekahara, Lore of the Lady, unique abilities like Knightly Vows, Resurrecting the Fallen, and faction-specific rules, Arrow, Asaph, Blessing of the Lady, etc. Magic items. Okay. So, once again, reading, you do not need these books, but if you like that army, you probably want to pick it up. It's going to be pretty cool. And this makes me really happy because my favorite thing from 8th edition was the heraldry books. I still managed to get the high elf one. I didn't get any of the other few that were released, but you know, seeing this in here is just worlds of good for my lore and my funness. Yeah, I can't quite make these out. I wasn't able to make this image any bigger, so we'll just have to wait till the books come in to really review them. So perfect. All right, however, Arcane Journals do provide different ways to play and new ways to build your force via themed army lists with their own mustering rules. These armies of infamy differ from the main list in meaningful ways due to geographical location, unique tactics employed, yada yada yada. They're different. They may not follow the core flow of an army, as we're going to see here in a second, because the Bretonnian ones, it's like, what happens if a knight loses his chivalry? What happens? Let's check it out. For example, the Bretonnian exiles are forces under command of a banished lord, a knight who has committed some transgression against code chivalric and has been booted out, shorn of their honor. These lords now free to hire bloodthirsty mercenaries, employ border prince bombards as they attempt to claim glory or just new land rule, taking up the vow of the exile instead of the regular chivalric vow. Okay, so we have knights that are fallen, and I mean, I guess what you could do, this opens up the allies and the fact that Bretonnian will never use black powder, but if you're in exile, how far are they willing to twist the rules? It doesn't say that you have to. You could be in exile and still think you're right and I guess hold true to the code in your own way and not hire mercenaries and bombards and all that sort of stuff. But it's nice that there's an option to do that. Okay, so the exile's vow that my time within the lands of the lady has come to pass. My time serving her is not. By my hand and her mercy, my honor shall be restored, even as my final quest in life. Okay, there we go. Exile's vows, the Chivalrous vow, which is part of the army rules, described page 108, Forces of Fantasy. Model of this vow has stubborn and veteran special rule. In addition, a model of this vow does not have to make panic tests when friendly, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Pretty much the same, but yeah, I like that it makes you stubborn and veteran. It kind of plays into, the older you get, hopefully the wiser you get, and maybe you see past the nuances and like the strict things to make some choices that maybe the younger groups of chivalric knights might be like, no, you can't do that, that's against the rule, and he's just like, I made the rules, see you later, kids. And sorry, plays into that, it feels like, but in a fun way. You can be that old, disgruntled, tired questing knight, which sounds kind of cool to me. All right, the Tomb Kings can use rules from their own arcane journal to field Nekharan royal hosts, an elite retinue of influential Tomb King or prince. The monarchs who lead these armies are often tutored in the secret language of the priests of mortuary cult, while their legions of skeletal and tomb guard chariots pulverize the ruler's enemies under hoof and wheel. These very army lists are a great way to add narrative element to your collection and stretch your skills by undertaking projects such as creating an errantry crusade that features a rainbow of unique heraldry. Okay, so I like that. Like, I'm a narrative gamer. And it's not saying that it's saying it's narrative element. It doesn't say that it's pure narrative. So I'm sure we'll be able to see these out in competition when we get there. At like, GW events and individual regional, local, and even national level events. All right, so grind them down. What's one of these for the Tomb Kings? Only the finest charioteers serve the royal hosts of Nakahara. None granted such an honor would dare disappoint their master in battle. Whilst within the general's command range, friendly models with troop type is chariot may re-roll the dice when rolling to determine the number of impact hits they cause. Holy crap. Sorry. I'm not sure if anyone here plays Tomb Kings or has played Tomb Kings, but that's crazy good. Especially because you probably are going to put, unless he's on the dragon, you'll probably put your general on a chariot in here. I wonder if Cetra can be part of this list, because he's obviously going to be in there. That seems really cool, really good. I like that. That makes me kind of hype. I'm glad I got chariots too. All right. Each arcane journal also features one historical recreation scenario. For Kingdom of Bretonnia, it's a battle of Matoria, set during a seismic war of the Border Princes. The scenario pits a modest force led by Sir Cecil Gaston the Wormslayer, fighting tooth and nail against a colossal Camarian host led by Cetra the Imperishable. Ooh, Cetra, that's gonna be a hard fight. All right, as the Duke of Brionne and Lady Lise Ducard ride out to save him. Okay, that's fun. Features mustering forces for each force, as well as a battlefield map and special rules to represent the conditions of the battle, providing unique challenges that differ from the missions in the core book. Okay, so we got core book missions. I don't know if that's been said anywhere else. That's cool. All right, each Arcane Journal will feature one of these historical recreations, and you can have the first one on us just by clicking the download button, and it even provides instructions for playing the scenario with armies of your choosing. Always good. You want to do a historical narrative battle? Boom. Here's everything you need. Army mustering, all that stuff. Great. You don't have those armies, but you want to do this mission because it seems neat? Sure, go ahead. Have fun. I got this already pulled up. We'll check it out in a second. Let's finish this article first. Each Arcane Journal contains rules for notable special characters such as Green Knight, Lise Ducard, Nekaf, the Emissary Cetra, and Cetra the Imperishable himself. There's also additional magic weapons, armor standards, and other enchanted items for featured factions. Okay, so this is where, while it's not needed to play your army, you just need the Forces of Fantasy or Ravening Hordes. It's just like if you're playing one of these armies by the Arcane Journal, this is your battle tome. Like I'm kind of thinking like it's not Index Hammer. The Forces of Fantasy Ravening Horde books have a lot more put into them from what it looks like. Um, but I don't think I can stress enough that if you are going to choose a faction and they have an Arcane Journal, buy the Forces of Fantasy or Ravening Hordes, and also buy that Arcane Journal. That just seems like a must. But I like the way this is rolling out. I do enjoy this a little bit more. It's not quite Index Hammer. That's a little bit more in depth than that, but it's all the benefit without all the generic toned down stuff of it. All right, anyway, you'll be able to pre-order Arcane Journal for King Tony and Tomb Kings of Cambria on Saturday alongside the game itself, and oodles of beautiful miniatures and accessories. Future Arcane Journals following the other 7 core factions will be released in due course. Which is this is the next question here that's going to pop up. When do we get that? When do we get that? There was the supposed leak of the dwarf dice, so are they next? Who knows? It's crazy. I mean, that stuff gets made so far in advance that you can't you can't always look to that entirely. All right. For your first look at Warhammer: The Old World, you can now watch the Warhammer Plus. Okay. So the Warhammer Plus free on YouTube to see the game. So actually, there's a link right here. So just go to this website. Boom, click that. If you want to see the Battle of Matoria scenario in action, check out the Mini Wargaming YouTube channel. There we go. Dave and Matt. Probably Steve and Luca over there doing a nice mission of that. And I'm curious to see that because if that is out now, those guys will do a great job of putting out a lot of rules for us to see. So I'll check that out after this. So check out the Warhammer YouTube and then go check out the Mini Wargaming YouTube because it's gonna be worth watching today. But before we end it here, let's check out the Battle of Matoria. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here for you guys. There we go. The darkness of night filling the skies, the black ships of Cetra's fleet began to disgorge their undead cargo onto the beaches before Matoria. As the royal host approached, Sir Cecil Gaston, the Wormslayer, looked to the west. From beyond the horizon, the knights of Brionne approached, but whether they would arrive in time to find the defenders embattled or Cetra's forces had swept through Matoria and towards distant Bretonia, he could not say. Historical recreation. I mean, to be fair, this is a historical game now with Age of Sigmar existing. We're all historical war gamers now. Battle of Matoria was fought between an army of Bretonian exiles led by Sir Cecil, Gaston, the Wormslayer, the Undying Legion, Camera, okay, etc. To represent this, players should write 3 muster lists, 1 for the attacker and 2 for the defender as follows. The attacker should write a single 3,000 point muster list using Tomb King's Canary Grand Army composition found in Ravening Hordes. Okay, see, but like if Cetra's leading it, maybe Cetra's going to be in the Ravening Hordes. Maybe I was incorrect about that earlier, so we'll see. Either way, buy Arcane Journals, you'll need it. All right, Defender. Defender should write 2 muster lists, 1 representing their main force, the other representing the rescue force. Main force, the Defender should write a 1750 point list using Bretonian Exiles Army of Infamy composition. General of this army must be Sir Cecil Gaston, the Wormslayer. Rescue force, the Defender should write a 1250 list, points mustering list using Errantry Crusade Army of Infamy composition list with the following exceptions. General of the rescue force must be a Bretonian. Duke mounted on a Royal Pegasus representing the Duke of Brionne. Rescue force must include Lady Elise Ducard. So like that, in its full narrative. How is this going to work? All right. Alternatively, the scenario may be played of 2 armies, players choosing, in which case the defender must spend between 25 and 30% of army's point value on the ally contingent to act as a rescue force. Okay. Defensible position, defender's deployment zone, attacker's deployment zone. Only 1 page, though. So it seems like how do you score? Does it say, I guess we'll have to look to see when the rescue force can come in. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Okay, but still, hey, free scenario. I will take it. I will save it right now. Yep, we're gonna Battle of Matoria. The Old World scenario. Boom, saved. Probably spelled that wrong. Anyway, let's yeah, let's all go out there. Let's all go out there, have a great day. And here with Terathi from Warhammer: The Old World coming out. Mm. So, yeah, go check out the article. Go check out the Warhammer YouTube for the Warhammer Plus Battle Report of the Old World, and then head over to Mini Wargaming, which is what I'm about to do. Go check out that video as well. Um, Also, tomorrow's gonna be a slew of stuff dropping, because I think uh, embargo drops. So everyone that has rules, unfortunately, I do not. Um, we'll be putting plenty of stuff out there, so it's gonna be a busy weekend for old world stuff. Um, Tomorrow, Saturday, I'll be doing my pre-orders. I'll also be out with friends. I'll be digesting all this, but I may not be able to talk about it in depth. But you might see a video Sunday where I go in depth about it. If not, trust me, this coming week's gonna be lots of old world content, so you will not be wanting for much. So anyway, everybody out there, hope you're excited. Get ready for your pre-orders tomorrow. Hope you got your list set. I'm still trying to figure out mine. Yeah, it'll be fun. Be a good time. Just do your best to get everything you want, and make sure you stay within your budget. Anyway, everybody out there, stay Stormcast strong, happy hobbying, and let's get hyped for some old world.